No, unfortunately, we'll not be going to Blackpool, but we are very lucky to get my first guest tonight, because though he is British, he spends more time abroad than a tax exile on holiday with Sarah Ferguson. Years ago, he was part of a mould-breaking comedy group before turning into every TV viewer's favourite travelling companion. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Michael Palin. Welcome, Michael.
Hello there, Clive. Nice to see you. Very nice. What a lovely crowd.
Absolutely.
What a lovely bunch.
Well then.
Well.
Well, Michael, welcome to my country.
Thank you, Clive.
I see. Make a film about us all
Very
here.
rich culture here, I can see that.
Richish, yes. No, so I've made jokes about everyone has made jokes. Oh, Michael, you do so many trips abroad. But now I think the reality is overtaking the jokes, because you've done another set of documentaries all around the world.
Well, yes, not quite all around the world this
Yeah.
time. This is the Hemingway adventure, and it's like gives me more time in each place. So I'm not actually sort of saying, oh, here's Bolivia, goodbye. Oh, and now
But you do cover quite a lot of the country, because it's based on Ernest Hemingway's travels.
Yes, that's right. All the places, that's right, where he used to write and work, yeah, exactly.
I mean, you could have chosen Jane Austen, in which case you would have had to go to Hampshire and Bath.
Yes.
Derbyshire at a push.
Well, that's jolly good, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
Hemingway, because I'd written a novel about 4 years ago called Hemingway's Chair, still available, $7.99, all good bookshop. So I wrote this, and it was all about this mild-mannered post office clerk who was obsessed with Ernest Hemingway and became sort of, in his battle against modernisation, became quite Hemingway-esque. So in order to create the Hemingway obsession, I had to read everything about Hemingway. I mean, not just his books, but things like, you know, his shoe size and how many cats he had.
So this allowed you to go to not just to Key West, but to Cuba and to Africa, and to Italy and to Spain. And
exactly. And I mean, the idea was to see the places, but also to kind of sort of experience the Hemingway life, which of course is very different to mine.
Well, you're more the mild-mannered person with this, because he married lots of times, drank a lot, beard, shot and killed, and fought in wars and got injured. No, that's not you, really, is it?
I was horribly jealous. No, that's John Clive. No, but it was a kind of attraction of opposites, because there is this sort of myth of the macho Hemingway, which is, you know, quite untrue, as all myths are in the end. And we started off in his house in Chicago, where he was born.
Well, now you say there's obviously a book that goes with it, and that does start in Chicago, but the TV series starts in Spain.
Yeah.
And you go and see a bullfight.
Yes.
So are you going to get a lot of hate mail from animal lovers saying, how dare you film and not exactly support, but sort of celebrate and sort of show what a lovely festival it is?
Very tricky. I mean, if you do a bullfight, you have to get permission from a special unit in the BBC. They have to, you know, you have to tell them you're going to do bullfighting.
Yes.
It was the same with when we did cockfighting in the Philippines for Full Circle.
Yes.
Any things like this, you have to get clearance. So we've got clearance, but they
So
said
the head of cockfighting is
no blood.
Or a special supervisory body watch a cock.
Yes, I mean, all the references to cocks are really a sort of a special department in the BBC to check or strut around. But anyway, so the bullfighting we had to check. So we have to treat it so there isn't a lot of blood spattering around.
Yeah.
But
what did you come away thinking about bullfighting? Did you come away thinking, well, yes, it's a lovely tradition, it should continue, or are you thinking this is torturing of domestic animals for man's entertainment?
No, I don't think either of those really. I mean, I actually quite. I don't like the start of the fight where the bull comes in and the picadors weaken the bull deliberately. Yeah. But I can see at the end of the fight, if the bull is a good bull and the fighter is a good fighter, then it is a very, you know, you're seeing a very brave man doing a completely idiotic thing, but it is someone risking their life.
Yes. So do you think it should be done in a more sort of British way, where they don't weaken the bull and there's more of a chance of the bull winning?
Well, no. The British wouldn't do it at all. The British would, I don't know how we do it, sort of talk to the bull or something like that.
You come away with a view on it and sort of saying, well, I don't...
No, I'm not in favour, but I'm not going to stand up and say, Spanish, stop bullfighting. It was rather like when we did Around the World in 80 Days, and I ate some snake in Hong Kong, and a group called the Reptile Protection Trust. Probably another department of the BBC.
Yeah.
But they don't want any bad things done about snakes. No, snakes are all lovely. They just can't walk properly like other people.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of flack about that. But I mean, I can't go into a Chinese restaurant and say, stop eating snakes, Chinese people. No. You know, they've done it for thousands of years.
You, would they?
Well, they wouldn't understand. No.
They bring you something else. Just say, take number 99 off the menu.
Say, all right, have the dog instead.
Now, look, the last time I interviewed you, and I've checked on this, because the last time I interviewed you,
you
were talking about, I wasn't sadly, you had been eating a bull's penis. I can't remember why or how or where it was.
I was just
between his legs, I suppose.
I was just hungry, you know, that's all. I need to go into this, Clive.
And I turn on this one, this new one, and there you are, eating bull's testicles.
Yeah, well.
Is there no other bit of the bull you're prepared to swallow?
I just got angry.
Yes.
I thought I'll teach this bull a lesson.
I thought they awarded the ears, but you've got to be pretty macho to be awarded the testicles, I suppose.
Well, I wasn't awarded, I had to buy them.
Oh, right, yeah.
They are a delicacy in Spain. And the director saw them being offered. It was like a sort of plate of, well, they looked like olives to start with, at some function at the back of the bull ring, and they were people were sort of eating them, and our director said, "Oh, what's that?" And someone said, "Oh, there's a bull's testicle." I said, "Right, Michael can have some of those."
Yes.
So
are they the bull you've seen being put to death, and then they come round and here's his testicles, ladies and gentlemen?
No, I did not know whose testicles.
No,
I was into it. If that's what you want to know, that nice cuddly one. Oh, it's that nice big one. Hello, Blackie. Oh, he's a lovely. No, they were all sort of sliced up, and they were sliced, thank God, because I really had bad dreams the night before, thinking they would, you know, well, look sort of like
testicles.
Olives.
Yes.
And how would I crunch them, or what do they boom, spin out the side of my mouth? And when we're on camera and all that. And I mean, the Testicle Protection Trust are going to be onto me anyway. Michael, oh Michael, why don't you stop gobbling people's bollocks for once? It's not funny. You obviously get fed well enough anyway. Why can't you have some paella like all those other Spaniards? Oh, no, it has to be the bollocks. Oh,
well, who knows what's in paella anyway? There's lots of odd bits in there. I always assumed they were olives.
I wanted to be a bit Hemingway-esque. So.
Yes.
Yeah. But we go to Africa as well, which is much quieter and calmer.
Yes.
The first programme actually is Spain, and then Hemingway's Africa, which is
a great relief. Shooting wild animals.
Yeah, yes, that's right.
So you don't do that, though? You go and have a look round and sort of more conservation, isn't it?
It's a bit conservation. Now, people just don't stride through the bush firing at animals. Hemingway sort of killed absolutely anything that moved. But now you kind of, it is conservation. So I did have quite a sort of nasty encounter with a cheetah. Because they'd saved these two cheetahs. They'd been orphaned and they were in this cage, and this very nice guy who was sort of showing me around, you know, the people who live in Africa, I mean, they just walk into cheetah cages just like that. So he said, come in, see the cheetah. So I sort of go in, and the camera comes in, and we don't know what's going to happen. And he says, oh, you can stroke them, you know, they're really nice. And stroke a cheetah, you know, they run at 70 miles an hour. You kind of went, he said, no, all you've got to do is just put your hand over and just pat it on the head. Once it feels the hand on the head, it's completely relaxed. You know, it was relaxed. I was terrified. So I'm going in like that, you know, the hand's going over. And it's just about to get to his head, and suddenly, whoom, crack! And it cracked my leg. You know, the cheetah just whacked my leg. And I thought, that's it, I'm done for. It's my leg gone.
Did it draw blood, or was it?
No, sadly not. Sadly not. I got back to the lodge that night, had a look, couldn't remember which leg had been half severed. But
you should have gone down like a footballer, you know.
That's right.
Then it might have left on top of you.
Bit me on the head.
That's right. Great telly, Michael.
Great telly. No, it was a very frightening moment. It's sort of kind of psycho moment because you're not quite sure what's going to happen.
So do you find yourself doing sort of more daring do things because the camera there and the director saying, come on, we want to get something
Sure, absolutely. I'm a pathetic, craven coward normally. I wouldn't go in a cage with a cheetah unless I was being paid to.
Yes.
Or, you know, unless I was doing it for the BBC.
Yes.
We all have to do things we don't want to for the BBC, don't we, Clive?
Yeah, well, I welcome all my guests on. And you went to Spain, Africa, but I think most people, certainly I would associate Hemingway with Key West right down the bottom of Miami, sort of sticking out there. So do you do, I haven't seen those bits, do you go out in boats catching sharks, or do you?
Yes, we did a lot of attempted catching of marlin. Unfortunately, I caught anything at all. Oh yes, one wonderful moment at the end of the filming when I did catch something. I was being taught how to do lassoing in Montana at this dude ranch. And he was sort of, you know, he said, now, Michael, just, you know, wrist and elbow. He kept saying wrist and elbow. You just put it over there, and there was a sort of plastic, black plastic cow's head about 15 feet away. Let it go, now go. And I did something like that, and it went off in that direction. Went straight over the cameraman.
Oh, brilliant.
He fell to his feet, and I pulled it. It was absolutely brilliant. I couldn't have done that in a million years.
Fantastic.
That's the only thing I caught on the entire series.
Are there any more places like that you're going to be doing? Have you found an author?
Jane Austen in Japan,
Yes,
I think. I'll find some book that was never published.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Mr. Darcy
Tokyo
takes
Park.
me up the Orinoco or something.
That's right.
But, now, look, the last time I interviewed you, and whenever I'm interviewing Monty Python people, we talk about you reforming, and this series, Eric Idle.
Yeah.
He seemed to, and you are having a sort of reunion thing for a special Monty Python night.
Yes.
And he seemed a bit sort of, well, I don't know, why are we reuniting? I'm not so keen on it. But are you looking forward to it?
Yes, I mean, we actually shot some new material. But we got together and got the old dressing up box out and put the knotted handkerchiefs on again, and it was amazing. I mean, John's a sort of a few months off 60, and to see him dressed as a Gumby going, my brain hurts, my brain hurts. It's terribly liberating, and people around said, they're like schoolboys again, aren't they?
Yeah.
And we were. Nothing's changed. I haven't really learned anything in the intervening 30 years.
So do you address the issue, and do you work out an answer to why it was that Monty Python, of all the comedy shows before then, around about that time, and since it had this sort of impact, and so that we can still be celebrating 30 years on?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, other people describe this. I think it's fatal for us to start analysing why we were popular, why we were successful. I'm just so grateful that we still are.
Yes.
But I think there was something about Python at that time took certain risks that other programmes didn't take, and we didn't have stock punchlines, and we didn't have a musical act in the middle, and we had animation links and all that, things that had never been done before. Yeah. And we all thought Python would have 2 years' life, and then someone else would pick it up and do something else and take it on. But for some reason it got into its own little sort of time warp, Python, and no one ever really replicated it at all. And I felt very sorry for people who came after us, because people kept saying, oh, that's a bit Pythonic. And it wasn't,
Just crazy.
Not the 9 o'clock news and all that. I think people were lumbered with being Pythonic.
Well, thank you. You'll certainly lumber with being Pythonic, and it's been a joy to have you here again.
Thank you.
Michael Palin.
Thank you.
Okay. Now,